Yo, 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 yo. What's up, all you burner stoners and potheads? This is Weedman 420 with the Weedman 420 Chronicles. How are all you vipers doing out there, Mrs. Weedman?
Mr. Weedman.
How the hell are you?
Doing great.
I love it. Hey, all you vipers out there in the world, hopefully you're smoking some big fat doinks while you're listening to the show. Mrs. Weedman and I are about to get normal with some Blue Zushi, grown by our friend Ignius. And Blue Zushi is a slightly indica diamond hybrid created through crossing the delicious Skittles and Cushman strains, known for its gorgeous appearance and pretty well-balanced high. Blue Zushi is perfect for any indica lover. This bud has small and fluffy rounded forest green nugs with deep blue undertones, vivid orange hairs, and thick and frosty coating of gorgeous tiny blue tinted white crystal trichomes. As you pull apart each sparkling little nug, aromas of spicy flowers and rich earthy pine are released, almost like walking through a forest after a rainstorm. The flavor is of sweet earth and spicy flowers with the yellow herbal tea-like taste and lingers on the tongue. Blue Zushi comes on with a slow, sneaking into your before launching you into a lifted and energized state. You'll feel budding euphoria, accompanied by tingly, buzzy body high, and quickly makes your energy level U-turn into deep relaxation and ease. With these full body effects, it's high usually around 15 to 20% average level, but Blue Zushi is often chosen to treat conditions such as eye pressure or glaucoma, appetite loss or nausea, spasticity, chronic stress, and chronic pain. The effects: body high, relaxing, tingly, may relieve chronic pain, eye pressure, glaucoma, and stress. The flavors are pine, spicy, woody. Aromas are earthy, flowery, herbal, pine, spicy, and woody. And I'd like to thank Ignius for throwing to the cause. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you as always, Blue Zushi. And now, Mrs. Weedman's going to tell you a little bit about, while I get baked, 8decades.com. Tell us about it, Miss Weedman.
Yeah, swing on over to 8decades.com. That is our cannabis accessory brand or lifestyle brand, however you want to look at it. But 8 Decades, spelled out, EIGHT, decades.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, and in return, you'll get free shipping on your first order. No minimum purchase, and it'll ship right out. We've got all sorts of great things. We designed our own rolling tray, multi-tool for cannabis flower, and a wonderful ashtray. You could choose your lid color for the ashtray and the multi-tool. We have hemp clothing. We have grinders, steamrollers, all sorts of goodies. And you'll also find a link to the Weedman 420 Chronicles podcast on our website. And from there, you can read more about Mr. and Mrs. Weedman, our agenda, what we're up to, and you can also buy some cool Weedman 420 swag.
Love it.
So check it out, 8decades.com.
Stop by one of our partners today, Starbuds and Hoffman Estates, and like to thank Starbuds for always taking great care of us. I was
Always
talking with the bud tenders today. They were asking about, a couple of new bud tenders were asking about the 8 Decades product, and I was showing them how to use the tray set and why it all came about. So make sure you go check out Starbuds too, and all of our partners out there that support us. And like we always say, if you support 8 Decades, we get to keep on doing this show every week. And then also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Weedman 420 Chronicles. Appreciate you. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers here. And then also there's a link on our little bio when we launch the episodes that say support the show. Click on that. You can throw us some money so we could pay our amazing producer Shoddy. We love her. She's great. So appreciate y'all out there for the support. We love you. Anybody that supports us, we really do appreciate you. And something great is coming. Something amazing is coming, Mrs. Weedman, in February. First week of February.
What is it?
The Muppet Show.
Yes,
is
it is.
back.
It's time to get things started. It's time to start the show.
Every Friday as a kid, the Muppet Show was on.
It was on Fridays. I felt like it was on every day.
Fridays. And
we always watched it.
Bigfoot, my brother, and I would be at that TV like fucking...
It was amazing.
The song would come on. Kermit would come out and scream. Ah! They show all the Muppets, and we were just, I mean, It was such a funny show, such a good show growing up because you knew a lot of those characters from Sesame Street came over, and then it was a whole new crew because Kermit left and became a writer, and the whole story and stuff. And if you watch the movies as a kid too, how the Muppet Show got started too from the movies, it's amazing.
Oh my God, the chef. Where's the bird? Where's the bird? Where's the bird? Where's the bird?
And the scientist and beeper.
Meep, 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 meep. Yeah, meep. Meep,
And then the band, you got Animal on the drums, Dr. Cool, who's my favorite with the gold tooth, just like
the judges.
I think that's why I got a gold tooth.
Because of him?
Because of him. Yeah, he has a bad, but he never.
Who, Animal?
No, Dr. Cool,
Dr. Cool?
the lead singer piano player. Dr. Cool. That whole band was stoned, just so you know.
Yeah, they were.
They were all stoned. The guitarist, the girl bass player, they were all stoners. You could tell. And I love all of them. So Fozzie's back. They're all back.
They're all
Kermit,
back.
I can
Miss
name
Piggy.
Kermit, I love you.
She's such a queen.
Oh, my Kermit.
I can't wait to see what everybody comes back as.
I think it's like the first week of February. I don't know the exact date, but I know you and I are going to
I think it's next week.
You and I are going to get baked.
And we're going to watch.
And we're going to relive our youth by watching The Muppet Show. And I think one of the biggest celebrity stoners out there, Seth Rogen is going to be hosting. I don't even know if
I think he's producing.
Oh, he's producing it too, but he's going to be hosting it too.
Yes.
So kind of funny. I wonder if we'll hear any weed references.
It'll be interesting.
Yes, very in a very calming manner, like just not like you would never recognize it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. But I'm super excited. You were looking something up?
I was going to look up if Seth Rogen, yeah, but I'll go down.
Yeah, wormhole. Yeah, I think he is. I think we saw him on the commercials. So and Kermit talking to him. So I'm super excited, everybody. I'm super stoked. I am a nerd, so I'm ready to relive my childhood again. All you need to do is throw me some He-Man toys, GI Joe toys, Transformers, Star Wars toys, and an AFC racetrack, and I'll be back to my youth.
Okay, but wait a minute. It's just a special. It's not a series. It's not like it's back.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm sad.
Me
They
too.
were making it sound like it was back. Okay,
maybe.
so here. The Muppet Show is returning in 2026 as a Disney Plus special. Executive produced by and guest starring Seth Rogen alongside Sabrina Carpenter and Maya Rudolph, premiering February 4th. With plans to serve as a backdoor pilot for a potential new series.
Yeah, so I have a feeling it's going to come back.
Come back.
I mean, all of us Gen Xers need to be watching that, so they bring it back, so we can get really stoned and laugh our ass off and have some good things to laugh about. I don't know. Hopefully, they do it on a Friday night again. It'd be great. Not on a Tuesday.
Not on a Tuesday.
No.
We record.
Yes. Actually, this week we're recording on Wednesday because Mr. Weedman had to go see a Bulls game on Monday in the freezing, frozen tundra, right? And I got to see LeBron play probably maybe his last time. I don't really care. I'm not a LeBron fan, but I do like the Bulls. So I got to see the Bulls play. And I will tell you what, it was freaking cold on Monday. And I didn't want to go. Mrs. Weedman made me go. She goes, you got to go. I'm like, it's too cold. I don't want to leave the house. You got to go. So I get down to the United Center. I was between traffic and trying to find a parking spot. I didn't get inside the building until like 10 to 8. And the game, I think, started at 7. So I missed like almost the whole first quarter, first 2 periods. And I get inside, walking 3 blocks, because by the time I found parking, which was all the way on Madison and Paulina.
Oh, geez.
I had to walk like almost 4 blocks. By the time I got to the door, I was shivering so freaking bad that you wouldn't even, like, I couldn't get warm until I got to my seat. Like, brutal. So I wanted to, and also there's somebody else that I admire and love with all my heart, Mrs. Weedman. You.
Me?
Yes,
oh,
you.
Okay.
That shivers all the time.
Oh, I'm always shivering.
And always cold. So I went and looked
You
up.
usually shiver when you're too stoned?
Yes.
Or when you're very cold?
Or very sick.
Yeah,
when I'm sick, when I get the flu A, but I didn't get it.
Mostly when you're too high.
Yes. And
most frequent.
Yes, but I could not like stop shivering till about maybe like 5 minutes when I got to my seat. It was gross. So I want to know. I never really knew why we shivered though.
Yeah, why
did you?
No, I don't.
No,
I mean,
like why? What makes it react or
Like,
why you. So I found some to help you out too.
teach me, teach
I'm going
me.
to teach you. So
Okay.
check it out. You're out in the cold like I was, wind hitting your face, like it's trying to steal your swag, and suddenly your body starts doing that little shaky shake. You're not possessed. You're not the exorcist where your head's turning in a circle and you're actually shivering. And it's actually your body's built-in heat generator kicking in. Shivering is just your muscles rapidly contracting and relaxing without you thinking about it. It's involuntary, like sneezing or getting goosebumps when someone yells, "Happy birthday," right in your ear. Up in your brain, the hypothalamus, that little thermostat in your skull. That's why it doesn't work on me because I got drain damage. This fucking sucks. It's always clocking your core temperature. When it senses your body temp dip below the comfy sweet spot, usually around the mid to high 90s in Fahrenheit, it flips a switch and tells your muscles to start doing the electric boogaloo. Remember that movie? Remember that dance? I can do it for you after the show. Sweet man. All the muscle actions doesn't just shake, it generates heat, cranking up your metabolism to try to keep your core from plummeting into hypothermia territory. Now, here's the little twisty twist. Shivering isn't only for cold. Ever been in a haunted house, Mrs. Weedman?
I have.
And had that creepy shiver just go down your spine?
Like, yes.
Like going in a dark room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's your nervous system hitting the fight or flight gas pedal. Adrenaline flooding the bloodstream and your muscles start jitterbugging. You can't even get the shitters from awe, fear, or sick mode as your body tries to regulate itself or ramp up a fever to fight the infection. Or I should say you can get the shivers from awe, fear, or sick mode. But heads up, if someone keeps shivering after you warmed up, they've got slurred speech and confusion, that's more than the winter breeze. It could be hypothermia.
Ooh, that's serious.
So, Mrs. Weedman,
Mr. Weedman.
we've been in the frozen tundra now for a few weeks here in Illinois, right?
Yeah.
So next time you're out in the cold, start doing that involuntary shimmy, shimmy, shake, and just think your body's hustling to keep the vibes warm and alive. So make sure you also stay cozy, grab a hot cocoa, and appreciate the weird little reflex that's got your back. You do shiver a lot, though.
I do. And then 2 seconds later, I'm sweating and stripping.
I like the stripping part.
Yeah. It's winter, so it doesn't really get that stripped.
No, just the sweater comes off and she has a shirt on. Mrs.
Super
Weedman in the
exciting.
wintertime has
Socks come off.
all right, so Mrs. Weedman in the wintertime has 6 layers of clothes on.
Yes, there's layered different things all over the
house. Then
house.
it's 6 degrees from separation.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden you find the second pair of socks, or you find your slippers with the socks in them because you're walking around barefoot, and then you have sweatpants on with a blanket tied around your waist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a bra, undershirt, shirt, sweater, jacket.
Something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Some variety of
So
that.
I would definitely lose if we ever played strip poker because I wear shoes, I wear slippers, I wear
don't
socks.
have 5 shirts on. Hold on a minute. I also have hot flashes, so I have to be able to take these layers off quickly. So I have learned there's no more tank tops in the winter, under a sweatshirt. No camis,
everything has to be buttoned or zippered. You can't have
a
pull
cami
off.
is actually okay because then if you have a sweatshirt on or a hoodie, you can just pop it off. It's madness. It's complete madness.
And then you're still shivering.
Oh yeah, and then I'm shivering.
Listen, it's just Mrs. Weedman. Her grandmother was like this too.
Mm-hmm.
Her grandmother was always cold.
Well, it is potentially part of my health condition, but.
Even before your health condition.
Well, I've had the health condition for
a long time,
a few decades.
But you've been cold for except when we lived in Florida. When we moved back up here,
I'm always cold.
You're always cold. That could be.
When I think back, even when I was a kid, the thought of having people want to go outside when it's cold out. Why would you want to do that? Football and cheerleading. You want to wear a skirt? And I did it for a year, and I'm like, this is for the chumps. This is ridiculous.
The chumps.
The chumps. I'm standing in fucking mud with bare legs saying rah, rah, rah. I don't even know what this game is that they're playing. I don't even understand. I was one of 5 girls. I didn't know
So
what
would you?
football
So
what happened.
just like when you waited tables that lasted like what, a week,
A
and you were
day.
done.
I did 1 season of cheerleading poorly. I didn't like to be the center of attention. I was like, wait a minute, the people look
So
at
who
you.
forced you to be a
Because
cheerleader?
all of my girlfriends were doing it, so I had to, it was like, what am I gonna do with my time if I'm not a cheerleader too? And then I found swimming. No, I was already swimming at that point. Anyway, I just said no cheerleading. I played soccer in grade school.
You
That was
also was a good
rough.
swimmer too.
Hmm?
You were a good swimmer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was.
you were a very good swimmer.
I
So
was.
you could do a breaststroke like no other.
Yeah. It was fast.
Oh, I was gonna say something. I totally forgot. That Blue Zushi kicked in. Nice work, Ignius.
Blue
Ooh,
Zushi is good.
Blue Zushi.
I feel funny.
Yeah, a little funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. So we're still not recording video,
Oh, yes.
but things are progressing. Carpet is laid in our studio. Painting is done. My computer setup, desk are set up, but we have blank walls right now, and we don't have proper lighting yet. So that is the next phase. So that might take another few more weeks. So might be until March to see our lovely faces again.
Yeah.
But maybe sooner. We'll see. We have electricians coming, and Mrs. Weedman is hanging. She hung a bunch of pictures today, but not in the studio. So it will come. But the color is, what color is this again?
It is called Inverness.
Inverness. We
Sherwin-Williams.
went schmancy with
Fancy
Inverness.
schmancy.
So it's a different green than we had in the last studio,
Mhm.
right? But it's a little bit deeper.
It's just different.
Yeah.
It has a little more yellow in
Yes.
it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. It's
Yeah.
very nice. We've got to figure out our lighting here. So
Oh, we got lighting.
right now we don't have any. We have a construction light.
We don't
in
have
the
any
room.
overhead lights in
Yes.
any of the rooms.
So,
Except for the kitchen,
but
bathrooms.
the most exciting thing, we're finally sleeping in our bedroom.
Yes.
We're not sleeping in the basement anymore.
Yeah, I'm really high. I
That's
just want
good.
you to know that.
Blue
Like
Zushi.
I could just sit here and space out for the next hour and
That
be
was
really
me
happy.
yesterday. Yesterday when we smoked, you were talking to me and
Yeah.
you were like,
Yeah, you
nudged
kept
me.
phasing out. I'm
I
like, you
was
are
in the
not listening to
zone.
me.
I was in the zone. I was like, it was just total space out last night. It was
You were.
insane. This one I had, I haven't had a good space out like that. I don't think never. And I was just mentally tired.
Mhm.
And that runts that we smoked last night, we smoked on and then the edible I think kicked in too. And I just remember you were talking. I was hearing
Yeah,
you.
you were. You
But I don't remember anything. I don't even think I heard the TV. I
you were just spacing
and
out.
then you're like, you're listening to me. And you gave me a nudge. I'm like, yeah. But I did
Yeah,
remember
man.
the conversation, the beginning part of it. I just forgot the middle.
Right. Right.
All right. Before this goes sideways, everybody, you ready to get the show started, Ms. Weedman?
I am.
Let's do this.
All right.
How fast do THC drinks kick in, and how long do they last? I've been drinking a lot of THC drinks for years now since they came out, and there's the hemp-derived Delta-9 THC drinks you see now in liquor stores, and you see in now convenience stores possibly. Actually, I just learned that not Soldier Field, United Center
Mm-hmm.
during concerts will start serving THC beverages.
It's been all over the news.
But if you're not buying from a dispensary, you're getting Delta-9 derived from hemp, which I call THC light. When you're getting a drink from a dispensary, you're getting THC that's coming from a cultivator here in your state, because you can't cross state lines. So, and there's tons of different varieties. Cannabis drinks are growing. Now you see liquor, beer, and wine distributors distributing them across their in hemp derived in their territories. You see that bars are starting to carry it. Like we said, United Center. We were at, when did we go see that Rage Against the Machine show? Not Rage Against the Machine. It was just, they played Rage Against the Machine music.
That was in November.
What was the venue?
The Goodman Theater.
Goodman Theater. And they were serving
all sorts of. They had like
THC
a couple
drinks,
different brands.
A couple different brands, which was neat to see. I believe because of the hemp ban that's going to take place in November 2026, I believe, though, a lot of states are passing laws to protect the drinks,
Beverages.
the beverages. There's a lot of money being made. And when you have the liquor, beer, wine distributors now saying that they want to not ban these drinks and we shouldn't ban hemp-derived cannabis drinks, there's going to be money behind this now fighting for this. And I have a feeling there'll be some changes because a lot of Congress folk, senators, congressmen in states, but also in Washington are fighting to change that law before November 2026. So we're going to see a little bit of tweaks, I think. It's just not going to all happen at once. And they're also trying to move it for 2 more years or 3 more years to 2028 before the law passes too. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be really heavily regulated and it's going to be heavily standardized, and we'll see. But so let's go back to the drinks. So let's break this down. This article we're talking about from Yahoo Lifestyle piece on THC infused drinks, why they're blowing up and how quick they hit and how long the effects stick around. This isn't your typical gummy buzz. This is the sip and slide kind of experience that folks are really vibing with lately. So first up, these weed drinks are being marketed as more predictable alternative to traditional edibles, like the brownies that Brownie Mary made years ago. You know, edibles can be a mystery ride sometimes, can hit in 30 minutes, sometimes 2 hours later, and you're like, why is my couch whispering to me? But these THC drinks, they're aiming for consistency. The secret sauce comes down to how the THC gets into your system. Unlike edibles, they have to get digested and pass through your liver before the effects really kick in. These drinks, often nano emulsified, buzzword, ding, 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 buzzword, nano, get absorbed faster into your bloodstream because they are already in a liquid form your body processes quicker. Think beer meets cannabis, but without the hangover and with way more chill. Most people start feeling something within about 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes even faster, like 10 to 15 minutes, especially if you're sipping on those fancy nano, buzzword, tech-used ones that break the THC into tiny, water-loving particles that your body grabs up quick. That's way sooner than a typical edible slow climb. Once the buzz kicks in, it usually peaks around 45 to 60 minutes, and you're cruising in that mellow zone. You might notice a mood boost, heightened vibes, maybe music sounds a little sweeter, or a sunset looks extra crispy. It sounds like a mushroom trip to me. And the whole experience usually lasts about 3 to 6 hours. Oh, all right. I when I was reading this, and it also depends on the dose, your metabolism, whether you're new or seasoned. We've drinking a lot of drinks, right? We've been given a ton of drinks. Your opinion, do you think they last 3 to 6 hours?
No.
If you take a 10 milligram one, no way 3 to 6 hours. Not a hemp-derived Delta-9 one. I would say for me, it lasts about a good hour and a half, and it's not even that heavy.
Yeah, it's just it's very subtle. But I also
We
think
drink them at the beach all the time.
I also think that the idea is that it's like a sessional beer.
Yes,
or
you can
like
drink more.
that it's meant to be,
Drink 2.
Yeah, I can't get words out. It's meant to be enjoyed all night long. So you're going to have 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5 of them.
Yeah.
I think that someone like a new consumer having 4 or 5 of
Ooh,
them,
they're done.
I think that would be a terrible, that would be bad. It would
Unless
be
it's
a bad
like 2
experience.
milligrams, like a 2 milligram one, you drink
Right.
5 and you get 10 milligrams.
But that's a lot for a first-time
right.
consumer.
But for somebody like me, that could probably do about 20, 25 milligrams in a drink, a hemp-derived one. I would like to see a 2 milligram one, just like a beer that's 4% alcohol, and I could sit and have 4 or 5 or 3 or 4. I'm not looking to get fucked up, but I want to get a nice little buzz on.
Right.
So if I could sit at a bar or sit at a restaurant and order one and have 2 or 3, and they're at 2.5 milligrams, and now I'm at 8 to 10 milligrams, and I have a little. That's pretty. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy them, not just get a 25 milligram one at a bar or 10 milligram one at a bar. Nice to know you're fucking slurring because now you're done. You have one and you're done. I want to have 2 or 3. Maybe they might have some different flavors I want to try, or maybe they make a mocktail out of it, mix some little bit of this and a little bit of that and give it a little swirly swirl and serve it kind of thing. So making mocktails out of those drinks too and making them low dose to have people To me, as being a business owner, I want not just to serve one.
Right, I'd want like a 2.5, 3 milligram.
I wanna serve 3 or 4 to a customer so they stick
Mhm.
around and
Yeah.
hang out, and if it's a gaming bar, if there's music, I don't
Mhm.
wanna have 1 and I gotta go.
Right.
So that's the point of this. Don't look at these as trying to get fucked up and smashed like liquor. We don't want you there. We want you to last and have fun and laugh and have a good time on these drinks and don't fuck it up for the rest of us. So keep it low dose. Have maybe 2 different types. Have for the more busier consumer or the person that's a heavier consumer, have some 5 or 10 milligram ones, and then have for the light people that are just starting out their cannabis journey or don't want to get fucked up and don't know what it's like to experience a cannabis drink, have some 2 milligram ones out there.
Mhm.
Mix it with a little CBD. Have an experience with this nowadays. It's not about just getting fucked up anymore. It's about an experience when you're doing this and being able to go out and have cannabis at a bar without getting chastised because you went out and smoked a joint. And you came in and you reeked the whole place out like a big skunk walked in the door. This is casual stuff and learn that to have some fun. And this is what you bar owners and restaurant owners and club owners need to understand. We want people to buy 3 or 4 of them and have a good time. So remember that. Now, here's the part where that makes these drinks crowd pleaser predictability, because they hit faster and we're often a more manageable window than a heavy edible. You can plan your session better, whether it's game night, a backyard chill, or a lazy evening with snacks. There's no guessing game on here. But quick heads up, even though they're marked as liquid chill, they still deliver THC, and that means you gotta treat them with respect. Start low, sip slow, and give your body a solid 30 to 45 minutes before thinking about another can. No need to double down while you're still warming up. It's about enjoyment, not overkill. And speaking of vibes, unlike alcohol, you won't deal with that extra day headache or regret text. The come down tends to be gradual and smooth, so you're not waking up to feeling like a truck ran over your thoughts. That makes these drinks a really appealing alternative for folks who want cannabis without the fuss or smoking or the long haul of edibles. So let's recap. THC drinks kick in pretty darn fast, peak around an hour, and give you a chill, manageable high that lasts a few hours, and while being way more predictable than eating your weed and hoping for the best. That's a way not to get too slumped. Ms. Weedman,
Mr.
can
Weedman.
you teach me how to be an informed buyer
Yeah.
and by purchasing cannabis online? Because of why? What is the online phase when we just talked about before the show about online sales for cannabis right now? How much of the industry is it now?
A lot.
About 67%,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
of the industry now is bought. People order online and go pick it up. Quicker, faster. They have online service when you walk in the door. So tell us about how to become an informed buyer online, which is not easy to
Yep.
do.
Purchasing cannabis online requires a fundamentally different approach than buying in a physical store. When you're standing at a dispensary counter, a knowledgeable bud tender can answer questions in real time and help guide your decision. Online, you're working with written information, photos, and product specifications. This shift means informed buyers develop a more deliberate evaluation process, treating each purchase decision like research rather than an impulse. The difference between casual and informed buyers shows up clearly in how they spend time on a dispensary website. Casual shoppers might scan a few product descriptions and add items to their cart. Informed buyers dig deeper, cross referencing information, comparing options, and validating claims against available data. They understand that the quality of their purchase depends entirely on the quality of information available to them. This methodical approach reflects a shift toward taking responsibility for their own purchasing decisions rather than relying on sales pitches. I don't wouldn't say that bud tenders are all sales pitch.
Absolutely not.
They're very informative.
Yes.
Uh, Access to detailed information has empowered cannabis buyers in ways that weren't possible even 5 years ago. Platforms that provide transparency about testing, sourcing, and product specifications have become the destinations where informed buyers feel comfortable making purchases. They recognize that reliable information signals a trustworthy business. When exploring options online, savvy purchasers naturally gravitate toward dispensaries that prioritize clarity and educational content alongside their product offerings. Informed buyers start their process by reading product descriptions with a critical eye. They look for specific details rather than vague marketing language. A good description explains cannabinoid percentages, terpene profiles, expected effects, and flavor characteristics. They notice when descriptions are generic or overly promotional, treating that as a red flag. Instead, they prefer straightforward information that gives them a clear picture of what they're getting. Breakdowns matter significantly to informed purchasers. They understand that THC percentage alone doesn't determine the whole experience. CBD ratios, minor cannabinoids, and terpene profiles all contribute to how a product will affect them personally. Buyers cross check these numbers against lab results to ensure consistency. They recognize that a strain claiming 25% THC should match the documented testing data. This verification process separates informed buyers from those who simply trust marketing claims without validation. Lab results function as the primary quality signal for informed cannabis buyers. They look for certificates of analysis that are current, detailed, and easily accessible. Outdated testing data or results buried in hard to find PDFs raise immediate concerns. Informed buyers expect to see testing from reputable third party labs, understanding that independent verification matters more than claims made by the seller themselves. The visibility of testing information reveals a lot about a dispensary's confidence in its products. When lab results are prominently displayed on product pages, buyers perceive the business as transparent and secure in its quality. While dispensaries that require customers to hunt for test results or that don't provide them at all lose credibility. Informed buyers recognize this pattern and use it as a major decision factor. Documentation completeness speaks volumes to experienced purchasers. They expect to see not just cannabinoid percentages, but also microbial testing, pesticide screening, and heavy metal analysis. They also appreciate when testing information is presented clearly in easy to understand formats rather than dense technical documents that require specialized knowledge to interpret. Where products come from also matters deeply to informed buyers. They look for information about cultivation practices, whether products are locally grown, and what standards suppliers must meet. This reflects a broader desire to support businesses that maintain ethical practices and quality standards. Dispensaries that transparently discuss their sourcing demonstrate respect for their customers' values and concerns. Handling and storage practices influence purchasing decisions for knowledgeable buyers, too. They want to know how products are stored, whether temperature and humidity are controlled, and what measures prevent degradation. Fresh products with recent harvest dates are preferred over stock that's been sitting for months. Informed buyers recognize that proper handling directly impacts potency, flavor, and overall quality. They look for evidence that the dispensary takes these factors seriously. Supply chain transparency builds confidence in the product's journey from grower to consumer. Buyers appreciate knowing not just who grew the product, but also how it moves through distribution. This visibility assures them that proper handling occurred at each step and that the product they receive matches what was tested and documented. Inconsistent information immediately concerns informed buyers. When a product claims one cannabinoid percentage on the main listing, but the lab results show something different, alarm bells sound. Vague product descriptions that avoid specifics without clear reasons suggest the seller might not know much about their own inventory. Informed buyers view these inconsistencies as signs to look elsewhere. Missing Oh, no. I've got an alarm going off, everybody. Sorry. uh, Missing information
That
raises.
alarm, though, just so y'all know, is she can't eat for 2 hours because she got to take her medicine.
Yes, it's
So
an
sorry,
important
sorry
alarm.
about that. It's an important alarm.
I just forgot to turn it off. Missing information raises questions about the dispensary's standards. If product origins aren't disclosed, if testing data isn't available, or if handling practices aren't explained, informed buyers assume the worst. They understand that transparency costs nothing and that legitimate businesses have nothing to hide. And let's talk about poor website organization and difficult navigation. It suggests the business doesn't prioritize customer experience. Informed buyers expect to find what they need quickly and intuitively. These buyers recognize that a professional operation should handle both inventory and information management competently. Informed buyers approach online cannabis purchasing through evaluating detailed information, cross referencing claims against testing data, and assessing the transparency and credibility of the dispensary itself. This methodical approach helps them make confident purchasing decisions based on facts rather than marketing language or impulse. The relationship between informed buyers and transparent dispensaries creates a positive cycle. When buyers reward honest, detailed information with their loyalty and purchases, it incentivizes dispensaries to maintain high standards. This dynamic pushes the entire industry toward greater transparency and better customer education. Ultimately, informed buyers drive progress by refusing to accept anything less than clear, consistent, and verifiable information about the products that they purchase.
Good
That's good.
stuff.
That was a
That
good
was very
article.
informative.
Hmm.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs Weedman, for teaching me how to shop online.
Yeah.
uh, Cannabidiol, CBG, the mother of all cannabinoids. So this article dives into something really cool from the science world today. This one's from the Journal of Microbiology and Biotechnology. The article is titled Cannabidiol Exerts in Vivo and In Vitro Anti-Inflammatory Effects, VIA Inhibition of the MAPK and the NF-KB pathways. Big words,
All right.
but stick with me, everybody, because I actually got all those words right. Must be the Blue Zushi. It's all about why CBG, the mother of all cannabinoids, compound everybody's been low-key talking about, might be one of nature's chill-out molecules. So here's the setup. Cannabis plants are like little chemical factories with over 80 cannabinoids in them. We all know THC and CBD, but CBG is like the parent molecule that a bunch of the others grow out of. It's got a rep for being non-intoxicating, but potentially healing orientated, especially when it comes to inflammation, that immune system fire that can get out of control in your body. The researchers want to see how CBG might calm inflammation, so they did a little science and two parallel tests. One was in a dish, using immune cells from mice to see how CBG changed the way those cells reacted to an inflammatory trigger. And the other was in live mice, where they gave CBG and then caused a little swelling in the paw to see what would happen. First, in those cells, CBG didn't hurt the cells at all, even at higher doses. That's already a green flag. Then they hit those immune cells with the molecule that normally makes them go full-blown inflammation mode. But when CBG was in the mix, boom, the cells dialed down the production of inflammatory chemicals, especially nitric oxide, which is one of those molecules that revs up the immune response. It wasn't just a little effect. The more CBG, the stronger the chill down. Then the scientists peeped the signaling into cells, specifically the MAPK and the NF-KB pathways. Now, this sounds like nerdy jargon, but those are basically cellular circuits your body uses to crank up inflammation when threats are detected. It's like the alarm sounding off. What CBG seems to do is interfere with those signals, blocking the fire hose before it fully opens. That's a big deal, everybody. Because it can calm those signals, you calm inflammation at the source. Now, the live animal test. In the paw swelling model, didn't show a huge physical reduction in swelling that was statistically significant, but the real win was deeper. When they checked the tissues and inflammatory messengers like the COX-2, TNF-A, IL-1B, IL-6, all of those were pro-inflammation markers were noticeably lower than CBG when CBG was on board. That tells you CBD is really messing with the immune response in a molecular way. And check this, inflammation isn't just about sore joints or swollen paws. Chronic inflammation is at the heart of tons of conditions, from gut irritation to brain health issues. So something that in ooh, I can't pronounce this word right now. I'm too stoned. Endogenously? Oh man, that's brutal. Endogenously. Brutal.
I can't help you there.
Nobody can right now.
I'm too stoned.
Yes, exactly. Helps calm those pathways might be a water cooler topic in the future of cannabis therapy. Doesn't mean you're going to pop a CBG pill and instantly fix every inflammation condition, but it does suggest CBG plays a role in keeping the fire under control. For you all at home, this isn't about getting you high. CBG isn't itself doesn't bind the same way THC does. Instead, it might be part of the entourage effect, helping your body stay balanced and calm, especially when the immune system gets a little too hyped up. So overall, the study supports the idea that CBG has a legit anti-inflammatory potential both in cells and living organisms, primarily by targeting those big signaling pathways we talked about. Definitely more to explore, but this is science, science, science. So learning into cannabis beyond just relaxation and into real physiology. The mother of all cannabinoids, everybody. She's the best of them all. OSU study, Mrs. Weedman.
Yeah.
The compounds in hemp block, what does it block? The virus, the COVID-19 virus
Yes.
from entering human cells.
Mhm.
Sounds sciencey, Mrs. Weedman.
Didn't we talk about it helping block the flu, I think, last week,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We've talked about
Different
compounds
things, yeah.
against COVID back when COVID was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We talked about this too. So more
Yep.
studies, though. Tell us. I'm
Yes.
excited.
Compounds found in hemp show, this is a quote, show the ability to prevent the virus that causes COVID-19 from entering human cells, end quote. Oregon State University says. Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon. One of those words that just can't get it right. This new OSU research on hemp and COVID-19 was published last week in the Journal of Natural Products. Richard Van Bremen, a researcher with Oregon State's Global Hemp Innovation Center in the College of Pharmacy and Linus Pauling Institute, led the study. According to OSU, hemp, known scientifically as cannabis sativa, is a source of fiber, food, and animal feed, and multiple hemp extracts and compounds are added to cosmetics, body lotions, dietary supplements, and food, Van Bremen said. Van Bremen and collaborators, including scientists at Oregon Health and Science University, found that a pair of cannabinoid acids bind to the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, blocking a critical step in the process the virus uses to infect people. These cannabinoids, acids, are abundant in hemp and in many hemp extracts, von Bremen said. They are not controlled substances like THC, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, and they have a good safety profile in humans. And our research showed the hemp compounds were equally effective against variants of SARS-CoV-2, including variant B.1.1.7, which was first detected in the United Kingdom, and variant B.1.351, first detected in South Africa. Cell entry inhibitors, like the acids from hemp, could be used to prevent SARS-CoV-2 infection and also to shorten infections by preventing virus particles from infecting human cells. They bind to the spike proteins, so these proteins can't bind to the ACE2 enzyme, which is abundant on the outer membrane of endothelial cells in the lungs and other organs. These cannabinoid compounds can be taken orally and have a long history of safe use in humans, Van Bremen said. They have the potential to prevent as well as treat infection by SARS-CoV-2. CBDA and CBGA are produced by the hemp plant as precursors to CBD and CBG, which are familiar to many consumers. However, they are different from the acids and are not contained in hemp products. Bremen said the two cannabinoids with the highest affinities for a spike protein were, again, CBDA and CBGA, and they were confirmed to block infection. One of the primary concerns in the pandemic was the spread of variants, of which there are many, and B117 and B1351 were among the most widespread and concerning, he added. These variants are well known for evading antibodies against early lineage SARS CoV 2. Our data showed CBDA and CBGA are effective against these two variants we looked at, and we hope that trend will extend to other existing and future variants. Van Bremen noted that resistant variants could still arise amid widespread use of cannabinoids, but the combination of vaccination and CBDA or CBGA treatment should make for a much more challenging environment for SARS CoV 2 to survive.
Oh, get
Pretty
him.
cool.
Get him.
Get-
Get. Oh, sorry,
oh,
Yuki.
oh, Yuki was like in a dream world.
She was actually really enjoying being in the studio laying on the carpet. Sorry, Yuki. That is a good watchdog, though.
Because you just say words and
And
she's sound asleep and she's like, who do I got to get? What do I got to do? Tell me what direction.
We're sorry, girlfriend. Go back.
Oh,
to
she's
sleep.
so sleepy.
Yeah, she was
Come here,
sleepy. Sorry
sleepy.
about that. We scared her. Yeah, so all you know that if I say the
Aw.
word "get him," be careful because she will be coming to get you. So all the I mean, she's been loving the house. So now that we've kind of been moved in and settled in, so she's getting more and more comfortable. She was a little wreck for a couple weeks
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, she really was.
But she's a trooper. So political, state, and business news. Attorney General Pam Bondi missed a Congress-mandated deadline to issue new rules easing research barriers for Schedule I substances like marijuana and psychedelics, leaving scientists without clear guidance and slowing studies on potential treatments. Reform advocates warn this delay harms medical innovation and evidence-based policy even as broader federal cannabis rescheduling efforts continue to unfold. Congressional leaders are demanding answers from federal agencies, especially the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, about why state legal cannabis products are being seized during transport, even when businesses follow local law. They want briefings and transparency on this enforcement that's frustrating legal operators and creating confusion in the industry as federal and state police diverge. Policymakers push a short delay on the looming federal hemp ban aren't doing enough, advocates say. Hemp farmers still face uncertainty and CBD patients risk losing dependable medicine. Temporary relief won't protect public health. What's needed is clear regulation, fixing THC thresholds, and distinguishing intoxicating products from non-intoxicating therapeutic CBD. Without it, farmers, patients, and families are left hanging. The Indiana House shot down an amendment that would have let a few farmers get permits to start cultivating marijuana seeds in preparation for possible federal rescheduling, saying it conflicted with current law and makes germinable seeds illegal. Supporters said it was forward-thinking. Opponents called it legal contradiction. The vote keeps cannabis farming firmly off the table in the Hoosier state for now. Rapper-actor Exhibit, who used to be in that show called Pimp My Ride, he was the host, is being sued by his ex-wife, Christo Joyner, who says he sold their joint stake in the cannabis brand Brass Knuckles without her consent, allegedly violating a restraining order from their split. She claims she helped build the business but got nothing from the $724,000 sale of trademarks. Legal drama meets cannabis culture in Hollywood. Virginia lawmakers introduced House Bill 642 to finally create a legal adult-use cannabis retail market, setting up November 1st, 2026, and the earliest date stores could open if the law gets passed and signed. The bill would empower the Virginia Cannabis Control Authority to handle licensing and enforcement, aiming to go beyond mere possession right towards a fully regulated marketplace. Florida lawmakers approve a bill to ban smoking or vaping marijuana in public places, stepping in before a possible adult use legalization vote in 2026 to create guardrails around cannabis consumption. The legalization target beaches, that sucks, parks, and other public places, saying it protects health and quality of life. How? If you're outside smoking
Right.
and you're not bothering anybody
Right.
and you're away from a crowd, how is it
How is
affecting
it?
somebody's quality of life? But somebody walking out of a bar and throwing up all over the fucking place because they got too drunk is not
Is
affecting
okay.
my quality of life. Even as activists push for broader legalization of the ballot box. The Great Lakes Indigenous Cannabis and Hemp Summit is back in Lac du Flambeau, Wisconsin, February 25th through the 26th, gathering tribal leaders, industry pros, and policymakers to focus on indigenous-led solutions, sovereignty, cannabis policy, hemp supply chains, and intertribal trade. Keynotes, break sessions, and discussions will shape the future of plant medicine in the Great Lakes region while promoting community-centered advancement. Washington state lawmakers introduced Bill 6204, allowing adults 21 plus and over to grow up to 6 plants at home with a total cap of 15 per household. The bill sets civil infractions for visible odorous grows, penalties for too many plants, and lets law enforcement seize excess of plants while keeping local bans and rental rules intact. Good for you, Washington. Local Illinois dispensary Block, one of our partners here in Illinois. Now, Block, if I didn't just buy this house, and I'm so proud of you too, you just want a dispensary license. If I didn't just move, I would ask if I could be sent and Mrs. Weedman to go live where you just got this new dispensary.
What are you
Hold on. So guess where the Block dispensary, who are our partners here in Illinois, thank you, Brittany, for bringing us into your stores. Guess where they want a license at?
in the state of Illinois, you're saying?
Just guess somewhere outside of Illinois.
South Carolina.
Close. St. Thomas Virgin Islands.
Oh, shit. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. I could handle that.
So Block dispensary, I'll travel down there 3 months out of the year, January, February, March, to go help run that dispensary, and then come back here in the spring, summer, and fall. So how's that? But congratulations. Lucky dogs. Big alcohol retailers are urging Congress to delay the looming federal hemp THC product ban signed last year, arguing lawmakers need more time to craft sensible regulations for intoxicating hemp beverages and products instead of outright prohibition. The industry group says responsible rules on testing, age limits, and labeling will protect consumers and markets better than the ban that could push products underground. Ohio cities and towns that allowed recreational dispensaries just received their first cannabis tax revenue checks totaling $33 million from 10% excise tax voters approved in 2023. Local leaders say the fund will go to parks, infrastructure, and community projects, and even towns that passed on dispensaries might rethink the choice when the money starts flowing in. Now, passing the joint over to you, Mrs. Weedman.
Yeah, I've got some more political, state, and business news. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a 44-year-old man allegedly set his own apartment building on fire because he was angry about his neighbors smoking weed. So he poured some gasoline in the hallway before lighting it, and guess what? He just injured a bunch of people, including a kid. Smart guy. Police charged him with arson and reckless endangerment. Surveillance reportedly shows him moving belongings. So he thought high enough of his own stuff. He moved it, right? Anyway, it's a wild reminder of how not to handle a beef with your neighbor. A second Illinois House bill containing multiple cannabis-related amendments across several acts has been referred to the Rules Committee. Republican Nicholas K. Smith recently introduced House Bill 4478, which doubles up on some of the same provisions as the Cannabis Reform House Bill 4306, recently introduced by Republican Bob Morgan. HB 4478 and HB 4306 both would allow caregivers, qualifying patients, or provisional patients to purchase an adequate medical supply at any dispensing organization licensed by the Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. Chicago's City Council just passed an ordinance banning most hemp-derived THC products, like Delta-8 edibles and vapes, limiting sales mostly to licensed cannabis dispensaries, while allowing hemp beverages, topicals, and pet products. Backers say it protects kids from unregulated intoxicants. Critics warn it will hurt small hemp businesses and push buyers to black markets. The ban takes effect April 1st unless vetoed. The anti-marijuana group Smart Approaches to Marijuana dumped $1.55 million into a campaign to repeal adult-use cannabis legalization and end Massachusetts' regulated market. The proposal would also recriminalize home cultivation, while keeping low level possession decriminalized. It's a major push by prohibitionists aiming to roll back a thriving legal industry. Ugh, I don't have words for that. Colorado just saw the launch of Casmira Pharmacy, the nation's first licensed 503A compounding pharmacy. Not a dispensary, a pharmacy, offering THC free prescription only CBD, moving cannabidiol from wellness aisles into evidence based pharmacy dispensed medicine. The legit script certified model helps doctors prescribe personalized CBD treatments without intoxication concerns, paving a clinical pathway for cannabinoids and expanding patient trust in cannabis therapeutics. It's been a nightmare. New York's Metric rollout sparks lawsuits. Metric is a software platform for dispensaries. It sparks lawsuits as cannabis operators warn of supply chain chaos. Cannabis companies are suing regulators over the Metric seed to sale tracking rollout, saying the forced systems tech glitches inventory backlogs, and expensive item level tagging are bottlenecking supply and spiking costs for farms, processors, and retailers. More than a dozen firms are joining the suit to push back against what they call chaos and undue burden on the legal cannabis supply chain. A bipartisan crew in Congress just filed the Hemp Enforcement, Modernization, and Protection Act, aiming to regulate consumable hemp products like edibles, drinks, and inhalables for adults over 21, instead of letting the recent federal THC ban obliterate the market. The bill would clarify safety, labeling, and legal sales, offering a sensible alternative to prohibition and market chaos. Missouri regulators slapped millions in fines on at least 7 licensed cannabis cultivators for violating the state's Immaculate Conception rule, bringing in out of state seeds, clones, or tissue cultures instead of growing locally sourced plants as required. Penalties ranged from 50 to 500,000,
Yikes.
not $50, 50,000
Yikes.
to $500,000, with regulators saying confusion about the seed to sale rules is not an excuse. Compliance is all that matters in Missouri's legal market. Missouri's serious about their weed game.
Shoo.
They're doing good with it. Yeah.
Sales-wise, yeah, but I just don't like how the industry is being taken over. All the dispensaries are being taken over by like 3 companies.
Yeah,
Dog,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like the family of Walmart owns like 60
Blah.
to 70 dispensaries now.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Like they need more. They need more business.
Yeah.
Maine regulators issued a medical cannabis patient advisory and pulled several cannabis concentrate products after testing showed dangerously high pesticide levels in items sold at Marijuanaville dispensaries. Some concentrates had dozens of times the acceptable amount of insecticides, prompting safety warnings for patients and calls for more oversight in the lightly regulated medical market. Massachusetts State Ballot Law Commission rejected a challenge to a ballot initiative that would roll back adult use cannabis legalization, saying there wasn't enough admissible evidence that paid signature gatherers misled voters about what they were signing. Opponents alleged deceptive tactics by petitioners, but the proposal now moves to the legislature for consideration, possibly heading to the 2026 ballot if lawmakers don't act. That's it for my news, Mr. Weedman. It's back over to you.
Sweet. How about lighting that joint up too?
I was gonna.
I love it. So, federal marijuana rescheduling being published by the Biden-Trump era framework would mainly apply to medical cannabis, recognizing currently accepted medical use and easing research and regulation for therapeutic products, not legalizing recreational weed at the federal level. Adult use remains under state control, and rescheduling doesn't automatically override state laws or instantly make pot federally legal for everyone. Florida Attorney General Withmere announced a big escalation in election fraud probes tied to the Smart and Safe Florida marijuana legalization petition drive, opening 46 criminal investigations and issuing subpoenas after alleged bogus signatures surfaced. At least 9 petition circulators have been arrested and had warrants issued for fraud related to activity. and more action is expected as officials scrutinize the cannabis initiative effort. Now, going into the next one, Florida's bid to get recreational marijuana on the 2026 ballot hit a huge legal roadblock when the First District Court of Appeal ruled that tens of thousands of petitions signatures tied to the Smart and Safe Florida initiative must be invalidated, shrinking the total and leaving the campaign short of required verified signatures with the February 1st deadline looming. It's the 28th of February right now, and this is the next part. As of Wednesday, 1/28/2026 in Florida, the Smart and Safe Florida recreational marijuana petition got a healthy bump. Valid verified signatures on the Division of Election website jumped to 760,002 as backers race to reach the 880,062 needed for the November 26th ballot before the February 1st deadline. Like I said, we have now, before this episode will hopefully come out Thursday or Friday. So you have 3 days to bust some ass and get 880,062. So you have until February 1st. The spike shows momentum even amid legal fights over signature validation. Florida, come on now. If you don't even make it on the ballot this time in November, oh boy, you ain't never going. Well, I'm not going to say never, but it's going to be a hot minute before you get a chance to get it back on the ballot. And that's going to suck because you're going to have to go and get 880,000 votes again. Hold on, I'm taking a smoke break because it's frustrating. So you'll have to go get that again. And the fight that the Florida governors and the officials are going to keep on hounding and beating you up and trying to pass new laws to stop what you all are doing. I'm just telling you right now, Florida, this might be the last shot you have for a minute with what's been going on. So go out there, Smart and Safe Florida. Go out there and get those fucking names like you've never done before. Cody and Kobe, I'll never forget those guys. And St. Augustine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll ever hear this or anybody that knows you hears this. Proud of you two. You have to keep on fighting the good fight for us. All right. Cannabis pros are teaming up with chefs and food creatives to spark infused culinary collaborations like Chicago's Cannabis mustard-topped pastrami and chef-curated meals. Pairing strains with gourmet dishes, it's not just gimmicks. Folks are exploring terpenes, flavor nuance, and sensory dining to make weed cuisine a legit experience, even as legal and technical hurdles stir the pot. No pun intended. Massachusetts State Ballot Law Commission rejected a challenge of the initiative that would repeal commercial cannabis sales and home grow, saying allegations and anti-marijuana petitioners misled voters lacked admissible evidence. The petition, an act to restore a sensible marijuana policy, now moves to the legislature for action on another petition round by July for the 2026 ballot. Oof, man. South Dakota's House Health and Human Services Committee voted 2-1 to kill a bill that would have allowed terminally ill patients to use medical marijuana in hospitals and hospices, effectively deferring it and stopping it in session. Supporters argued that it would give dying patients compassionate access, but lawmakers said the measure wasn't ready, leaving medically authorized use out of hospital care again. Ooh. A massive winter storm up on the East Coast sent cannabis shoppers into a buying frenzy, like they were going to buy water, paper towels, and toilet paper. They wiped out shelves, with New York and Jersey, Maryland, Massachusetts reporting Green Wednesday level sales as people stocked up on weed alongside bread, milk, and eggs, toilet paper, paper towels, and water. Retailers even doubled staff to meet demand, and infused chocolates nearly sold out, showing legal cannabis has become a genuine storm prep staple. The Democratic Congresswoman argues that feds should relax strict marijuana drug testing rules for transportation workers that can disqualify folks for legal off-duty use, especially in states where recreational cannabis is legal. She says court policies hurt staffing on ferries and other safety-sensitive jobs and wants creative fixes that let workers enjoy cannabis responsibly away from the job losing their shift. Connecticut's cannabis scene is growing, and Southern Connecticut State University is leveling up with 16-week cannabis course certificate programs, with sales holding strong and federal Reclassification Opening Doors says the $45 billion industry needs trained workers now. Partnering with Green Flower, these jobs ready courses cover cultivation, products, and retail compliance in medical cannabis. Proof that the plant isn't just legal, it's a profession.
Mm.
Now, Mrs. Weedman,
Yep.
I love giving you articles like this. Should
Yep.
make you proud, right?
Mhm.
So, legal cannabis is opening new doors for women. Global study finds.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Yep. A new global study suggests that cannabis legalization is narrowing long-standing gender gaps in the cannabis industry. Now, when I started recording with you back in 2020, at that time, the C-suite, as it's called, the corporate executive team, and a lot of these dispensary cultivation,
Sorry.
sorry, MSO cultivation dispensary groups that were, whether it was just, a group of investors that pooled their money or it was an MSO, the C-suite was pretty fairly split between men and women. There were, I would say, sometimes it felt like more women in that space, and a lot of women in cultivation and a lot of women in dispensaries, and they're just across the board in the industry. It was very female heavy. And then there was this like shift, and MSOs were moving in, and companies or businesses couldn't thrive. Investors were backing out. Dispensaries or cultivations were closing. Mom and pops were getting eaten up by the MSOs or just by a bigger group of investors who then got eaten up by an MSO, or sometimes they thrive, whatever. There were all these dynamics, and things shifted in the executive suite, and it became very bro.
Chad, Brads, and Tads.
It became a very corporate man world, not cannabis man world. It was people that weren't from the industry. I mean, that was really all the whole time that things have been legal. But anyway, this is really to me, this is a very positive sign to see that this study is suggesting that we're back on the flip side of that again, and things might be balancing out. So stoner talk.
I
Big
love it.
time, big time. So, the study was published this month in the International Journal of Drug Policy, and it found that women are significantly more likely to grow cannabis and benefit economically in regions where it's legal. Not only are women participating more in legal markets, data showed, they are also earning a larger share of their income from cultivation, one of the cannabis industry's top sectors and one where they are historically underrepresented. On average, women earn 59% of their income growing legally, compared with 44% for men. The results suggest that legalization is improving economic opportunities for women. Legalization is reshaping who participates in cannabis cultivation and empowering women, says Josh Meisel, who led the study and heads the Cannabis Studies bachelor degree program at Cal Poly Humboldt. What we're seeing is that when barriers come down, women are more likely to enter the field and to benefit economically from it, he adds. This is the first multinational study of its kind to describe gendered differences in cannabis cultivation across different legal contexts. It drew on self-reported survey data from this is a lot of people,
Mhm.
11,479 participants across 18 countries, with most from Belgium, Denmark, Italy, the US, and Germany. The study also found that women are more likely than men to grow cannabis for medical rather than recreational purposes, with 23.5% of women reporting medicinal cultivation, compared with 20.7% of men. These results suggest that women may be driving the expansion of medicinal markets and shaping the industry in important ways, says Meisel. Overall, the study found that legalization is helping reduce, not yet eliminate, gender based disparities, signaling a broader shift toward a more gender diverse workforce. This research shows that policy changes can do more than open markets. They can open doors, Meisel says. Legalization is giving women opportunities to shape the future of the cannabis industry. That's it.
Pretty
It's
powerful.
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Mm,
great to see
I
the
mean,
change.
yeah. Women by
We'll rule the
nature
world
are
one day.
just yeah. We like to take care of people, so it makes sense that women are doing more cultivation medically, for medicines and therapeutics, where men are doing it more recreationally.
Yeah.
Maybe it will become like a gender difference in how cannabis is used. Maybe more women use it medicinally.
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it just society making us say that? Like, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, will we?
We will. Like, is it society that's determining how you tell people how you consume? Is society telling you that if you talk about weed as wellness and as an intentional consumption and as a therapeutic alternative, that it's socially acceptable? And as soon as we talk about being a stoner and just getting high because it's fun and being like shitty and giggly and funny and blah, like you just want to get fucking baked because you want to get fucking baked because it feels fucking good. Like that's not as cool, right? Like that's not as acceptable.
It's
So
acceptable to
are we
me.
shifting? Are we shifting our uses into more intentional use and more medicinal use because now we're more aware of it? Or are we just saying that fucking shit because it makes it all okay?
That's really deep. That's
I'd
good.
like to hear this back tomorrow because I don't even know if I'm making sense right now. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, good.
100%.
Good.
100%. I love when you
Good.
get in your soapbox.
Meow.
Meow. I love
Meow.
it. But I mean, I agree in some of the thoughts that you're talking about.
Mhm.
I do. I mean, very interesting with trying times. And I work in the industry, so I work with a lot of men and I work with a lot of women and I work with a lot of thems, and, I have my opinions, but I also believe it's the person, the human that you're dealing with too. And, we're all, you can, just to say this, it's not an easy industry to be in, to get in, to stay in long term. Yes, they're working with a lot of women in this industry. I've heard stories, of one higher up in a company said to me, I'm just a woman working in a white man's world."
Mhm.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "Fair."
Mhm.
I mean, and I understood exactly what she meant because it's a fight every day for women, but the women in this cannabis industry are pretty fucking strong. What they go through and deal with on a daily basis. And not only just have to mother the whole company at times, but also has to babysit, also has to wipe diapers, and also has to fucking bring a tissue every now and then, if you all
They
know
have
what
to,
I
like,
mean.
run the show
That's what I'm getting at.
and not take any bullshit.
Right. And I've dealt with some pretty strong women in this industry. And I met a few the other night at the basketball game, owners of dispensaries running the checkbook as being the owner, buyers, presidents of companies, head of sales of major brands, not startups and not any small dispensary, you know? And I was pretty damn uh happy to see it, but also sitting and listening, asking specific questions and sitting back and listening, which is hard for me to
Mhm.
do
Mhm.
because I always have something to say.
Mhm.
But I was honored to get the time because I don't own I mean, I do own a company 8 decades, but I don't own a company like what they had to go through to get that
With
company.
licensing and the legalities and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a
just
whole
but
different.
also playing in a world where it's had this industry, especially in a lot of this industry has been controlled by men,
By men. Yeah.
and I've watched women in the last 6 years of being in this industry come from bud tenders and now are head buyers running 10 stores
Mhm, mhm.
or moving up and becoming a head of marketing for a company, or being the head buyer of multiple states, and going into states and opening up multiple states and opening up multiple stores and running large teams.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, if you ask me. And I've seen and know and congratulate, knowing where you came from and how you got there and how hard it was to get there to reach where you're at today.
Mhm.
And you might be stuck because there's nowhere else to go, but it might have took you 6, 5, 4, 3 years, a year, depending on where you came from, or you were good enough to get hired at that position you wanted at a C-suite level. It's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you work in the industry too, I mean, on
Mhm.
the 8-decade side of things, and you've dealt with a lot of people, you know, and it's pretty impressive. And I'm sitting in front, right next to one who started a company from nothing with their own money. So, I mean, it's impressive. So, let's go to international news, everybody, so I can get off my soapbox. Ireland's cannabis scene is being infiltrated by cheap weed from legal markets like the United States, Canada, Thailand, where overproduction pushes slow prices across borders. Criminal networks bring in the Cali weed through airports and other routes, undercutting local supply and creating a record surge in seizures, with U.S. source cannabis value jumping sharply compared to years past. In Nova Scotia, authorities are cracking down on illegal cannabis dispensaries, removing business signs and stepping up enforcement after government directive and police and RCMP saying unlicensed shops pose public safety risks for nations. Leaders and critics push back, calling the move heavy-handed and harmful to indigenous businesses, sparking backlash as debates over legality, sovereignty, and enforcement heat up. In the UK, MP Anna Sabine stood up in Parliament urging the Prime Minister to expand NHS access to pediatric medical cannabis for kids like her constituent Clover with life-threatening epilepsy. Although prescriptions are legal, there's no formal NHS pathway and costs could be crushing. She's pushing for clinical trials and clearer NHS routes to make treatments more available and fair. Grenada's parliament just passed a law decriminalizing cannabis for adults 21 and over, letting folks possess small amounts of grow a few plants without criminal penalties. The move also lays groundwork for therapeutic, medical, and regulated use, with expunges for past small-time convictions and rehab instead of prosecution for under 21s, a Caribbean shift towards sensible cannabis reform. A deputy has proposed the states investigates the legalization of cannabis for Guernsey. The request led by Committee for Home Affairs President Mark Ledbetter to create a new cross committee working up to look up the regulation of cannabis if approved. The new working group would have to come back to the states by the end of the year with recommendations on how to model the regulated cannabis regimen would work in Guernsey. Cannabis Tech leveled up a Dutch team built world's first AI-driven seed sorting system that analyzed each seed spectral data and predicts traits like vigor and genetics before it even sprouts. That means non-destructive quality control, cleaner genetics, fewer surprises, and more consistent crops. A bigger step with pharmaceutical level precisions in cultivation. Legal cannabis markets lifted, or I should say, Canada's legal cannabis market lifted retail sales in November, with total sales rising about 6.6% to 477.9 million compared to October, helped by rebounding demand after British Columbia strike early impacted sales. That bump also means per day sales jumped 10.2% on the month, showing steady consumers' appetite and resilient legal market across the provinces. The UN International Narcotics Board acknowledged Trump executive order to reschedule cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under U.S. law, but stressed treaties still require cannabis use be limited to medical and scientific purposes, and non-medical adult use isn't consistent with international drug control conventions, even if national rules change. Europe's new EU drug strategy draft has raised eyebrows across the contingent's emerging cannabis markets, with critics saying it could tighten rules and make progress on legalization and regulation more complicated for member states trying to modernize their cannabis laws. The framework aims to tackle drug holistically, but industry watchers worry as it could slowly regulatory clarity and reform momentum. That was international news, everybody. And I'm pretty stoned.
Yeah, so am I.
Huh?
So am
Oh,
I.
yeah. Blue Zushi.
Hello.
This is a great article by High Times. This is a banger for me because it actually really hit the spot when I was reading this. And I sent it to Mrs. Weedman 'cause I'm gonna let her talk about it and read it, and, when I emailed her this article, I said, "This one hit home and this one hits hard, and let's fucking talk about this one," because I've been saying this for a while, they've taken the fun out of weed, and there's no joy and peace in it most of the time anymore, especially if you're in the game and not just a stay-at-home baker, wake and baker, stoner, burner, pothead. When you're actually in the weed industry, it's the joy kinda gets ripped out of your heart a little bit, and you just remember the good days of weed when you didn't have to try to sell it to make a living, and it was just fun, you know? Um, or if you did it in the traditional market side of things when it was fun as fuck.
A little
Uh,
scary sometimes too.
yeah, maybe. I wasn't scared. Uh,
Okay.
but joy is still a valid reason to smoke weed.
It really is.
I believe it, and it's just what it should be.
And that's what I was just talking about, at the end of the last article you were talking about. Or I did the article on women and
Yeah.
yeah, oh my god, I'm so big.
And then you handed me the
But
joint.
point being, like, is joy still an okay like, I just enjoy it. I just have fun with it. I just wanna fucking get high. I don't know. Here we go. The other night, I got high with a few friends. Not to unlock my third eye, crush a deadline, or biohack my nervous system into a state of tantric productivity. We weren't chasing enlightenment or insight or growth. We just wanted to laugh, to unwind, to play D&D and stop carrying the day around like a sack of wet concrete. We sat around my living room, passing a joint, and talking about absolutely nothing of consequence. The kind of conversation that floats, drifts, wanders, and somehow becomes the best part of your week.
God, I love those
Mhm.
conversations.
And in the middle of that dumb buzz, I had this tiny intrusive thought: is this still allowed? Not legally per se, but culturally. I started to wonder whether joy alone was still a valid reason to light up. Because within modern cannabis culture, you can feel a growing pressure to justify your high, to prove you're doing something responsible with it. Smarter, healthier, more productive, more adult. The carefree, fun time vibe is quietly shifting toward the idea that cannabis must be functional to be legitimate, that you need a reason more noble than "I enjoy feeling alive for a minute." You can hear it in dispensaries now. Ask what's good, and you get outcomes, disclaimers. Well, focus, sleep, recovery, regulation. Meanwhile, no one looks down on the sun for giving us vitamin D and energy. No one shames rosemary for its calming effects. But light up a joint because you just want to smile, to loosen the death grip your shoulders have on your neck? Suddenly, you're kind of childish. Come on, community. Laughter, that moment when your jaw finally unclenches, that's medicine, which makes the disconnect strange because our bodies already understand this. There's even a word for it, anandamide, often called the bliss molecule, a naturally occurring compound in the human body tied to pleasure, mood, and that quiet sense of well being. Your brain produces it when you exercise, when you laugh, when you connect. Cannabis just happens to interact with the same system, a reminder that, as humans, joy was always part of our design. But in the transition from prohibition to legalization, we quietly decided that only the clinical stuff counted. And this isn't just a weed problem. We track our steps. Food turns into macros, hobbies become monetized, play without purpose, fun without payoff. It all starts to feel pointless. Somewhere along the way, humans lost the thread. That's how you end up with the stoner archetype, the original cultural mascot and patron saint of the untroubled, quietly being pushed toward the back exit. Walk into any dispensary today and everything is microdosed, precision engineered, terpene tailored, data backed, sustainably sourced, and paired with a promise to level you up. In the long arc from reefer madness to bong appetit, Weed went from this might make colors sound different to this supports mitochondrial performance. I don't want to be Luke Skywalker. I just want some frickin' Skywalker OG. None of this is an argument against medicinal cannabis or wellness. Those uses are real. They're vital. They save lives. What worries me is the creeping idea that happiness alone isn't enough, that cannabis needs to earn its keep through good behavior. That shift didn't come out of nowhere. It arrived with legalization and with the quiet understanding that freedom would come with conditions. At a certain point, palatability became the entry fee to normalization. For decades, cannabis survived on the fringes. It was messy, unserious, and almost exclusively illegal. When the doors finally opened, the plant did more than just step into the light. It stepped into a boardroom. To be accepted, cannabis had to make itself marketable to regulators, investors, landlords, and risk managers. Fun didn't translate, play didn't test well, but wellness did. Metrics and clinical language did. That's when cannabis learned to speak its outcomes or speak in outcomes instead of experiences. This wasn't a conspiracy. It was adaptation. Respectability became validity. The plant put on a lab coat and shed its laughter because that was the cost of legitimacy. But something gets lost when legitimacy is built on justification. When pleasure has to retrain or restrain itself, it shrinks. And what used to be communal gets stripped down, privatized, and reduced to a single player game. Legalization gave us liberation, but it also imposed a new discipline. Behave. Explain yourself. Don't be weird. The stoner, the unruly, joyful, unoptimized soul of the counterculture was politely asked to grow up. But it ain't a counterculture unless you're against something. And if we're choosing targets, I hope bullshit goes first. We've got more than enough of that to burn. Cannabis used to be fun first, silly in the best ways, a break from the absurdity of being a human strapped into the meat grinder of modern life. Now, it's increasingly framed as a productivity aid with bad branding and too much plastic. A friend of mine, Nate, put it perfectly the other day. Relaxation is a medicinal benefit. Because of that, I've always thought it was impossible to disentangle recreational and medicinal use. Ha, he's right. The fence between the two is thinner than we pretend. Another friend once told me about a guy who smoked her weed all day, every day, and called it medicine, and made her want to throw him through a window. In that context, yeah, calling it medication felt like a dodge. Sometimes you need to treat the root cause, not just the symptom. Guy. But over time, she realized something else. Not all medicine has to cure something. Some remedies simply restore amusement, connection, breath, a widening of the ribs, a reminder that at the end of a shitty day, everything will be okay. Cannabis can do that, and we shouldn't have to pretend it needs to be more than that. As a society, we're perfectly comfortable calling all of this care. It's pleasure in small, subtle, essential doses. Hell, half of the internet thinks dunking yourself in a freezing lake at 5 a.m. makes you a warrior stoic. But spark a joint after work for no good reason and suddenly you're masking your problems. Which brings me to the stoner, the folk hero of this whole operation, and the biggest part of the culture we're in danger of losing if joy stops counting. I know the stereotype: tie-dye, cheek-shaped couch dents, sticky fingers, bong water darker than midnight. But the real stoner, the one I know, the one who built this culture and kept it alive while it was illegal, unprofitable, and dangerous, is something else entirely. The real stoner is curious, imaginative, generous, playful, present. The real stoner feels life as much as they think about it. They find poetry in a bag of Cheez-Its. They stare at the ocean for hours and call it meditation. They know half the meaning of life is buried in beautiful, stupid 1 a.m. conversations. And one of the most underrated gifts of being a stoner, in the best sense, is emotional availability. The way it lowers your guard just enough to see the joke in existence. Cannabis keeps my edges flexible. It keeps me soft where adulthood tries to calcify me. It keeps me from becoming another stiff-backed, stress-locked adult drowning in existential dread and Microsoft Teams notifications. I'm laughing my ass off 100 times a day and talking life about 30% less seriously than I did at 22. Weed is WD-40 for the human
I
spirit.
love that line.
Instructions: shake well, apply generously, avoid contact with bosses and buzzkills. It's given me patience in my relationships, curiosity about life's small miracles, and resilience when the world feels too sharp. It doesn't turn me into someone else. It keeps me from becoming someone I never wanted to be. If that's not medicinal in its own strange way, I don't know what is. If joy, laughter, awe, curiosity, and relief stop being valid reasons to smoke, here's what else goes with it: the circle, the ritual, the generosity of passing the joint to the person who needs it most. Community becomes transactional, creativity turns into content. In short, a big piece of the culture's soul goes missing. And if cannabis's potential is limited to a wellness supplement, a consumer product with no spiritual footprint, a tool rather than a companion, then legalization didn't liberate weed. It put it in a gilded cage. Picture a future where joints are considered primitive, blunts are frowned upon, and flower is too unpredictable for an optimized lifestyle. People only smoke it if it can be paired with a self-improvement goal. Your friend sparks a bowl, and instead of saying, "God, I needed this," they recite, "I'm consuming this to support neuroregulation and emotional resilience." This isn't a fight against wellness, medicine, or legitimacy. It's a fight against the shrinking of what we call valid. If we lose the stoner, the curious, rebellious, alive part of this counterculture, we lose the permission to feel good for no reason at all. A smile is enough. Relaxation is enough. Laughter is enough. Feeling human again is enough. If legalization teaches us anything, it shouldn't be how to justify cannabis. It should be how to enjoy it without apology. So let's not forget, in our noble pursuit of validation, why we fell in love with this plant in the first place. Now, go get high for no damn reason, would you?
That was a banger.
Yeah,
A banger. A banger of an. I'm going to let that end with just that. Now go get high for no damn reason.
that's right.
I mean, I don't even need to discuss any more of this article. It was that to the point. Just go fucking live some life and enjoy yourself and have some fucking fun.
That's right.
Stop being so damn serious all the time. Miss Weedman,
Mr. Weedman.
that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
We got anything else to say?
I'm ready to just go get high for no damn reason. So let's do it, Mr. Weedman.
I love it. Hey, all you vipers, stoners, burners, and potheads out there. I love you. Stay fucking warm. The whole fucking country is fucking cold right now. So stay warm, everybody. Smoke some weed. Go live some life and have some fun. We love you. As Paulie always says, smoke smart. Puff, puffing away.
Puff, puff, pass.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades. because a ninth decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.